Hey, this is another Tyrion game. Silver League, though you got promoted to gold after this game was played. This is the TVT Siege, is the name of the replay. And, yeah. In TVT, a death blow is siege tanks sieged up here or anywhere within range of this ramp or within range of that ramp. Especially if he has more tanks than you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, man. I do not know. I think in the past you've opened 2 racks in TVT, done a poke, and then transitioned to like 2 racks Marine Marauder tank kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm what I'm expecting here. We're gonna fast forward to 6 minutes and see if you have 24 workers and $950 plus combat shields started. And so, are you gonna start combat shields? Go start combat shields. Yeah. Okay. Good. And right now, so you have 20. You should have 24 workers. You're a tiny bit short. That's cool. You should have 925, and you're a little bit short there as well. It looks like you accidentally queued up a Marine at your tech lab racks, and that's going to cut into your army spending. So this is okay. It's not great. You missed a little bit, and with such an early poke, you really want it to be perfect because it's so ridiculously early that if it's not perfect, it's not going to work. Perfection gets anyway, whatever. So he sees you coming, he builds a bunker. Are you rallying? Where are you rallying your dudes? Okay. This isn't gonna kill him, obviously. And you never want to focus fire the siege tank. And with this early push, you want to be focus firing Marines because the siege tank can be repaired. It's the only thing until he has a medevac that he can heal, and so it's the only thing that doing damage to it doesn't count. Whereas Marines actually do more DPS per dollar than siege tanks anyway, and you can actually be guaranteed to kill them. So when you're fighting against something that includes SCVs, don't focus any mech units. Always focus the bio. Focus whatever can't be repaired is the point. So this poke totally puts you ahead, and you're up to 30 workers at 8 minutes, which is perfect. And he's only on 18, so you've got this massive lead. You're way ahead. And you're going to throw down 2 factories. This is different than what we've seen from you in the past. And the late expo kind of bugs me. In TVT, expansions are so much more important than in other matchups because it's basically impossible to kill a Terran. Right, so he can't kill you and you can't kill him. So if you both know that you can't kill the other guy, the only way to get a huge advantage in the game, therefore, is to get an income advantage. So earlier expo. This sucks. He got his tank sieged up and your dudes are in a teeny tiny clump, like massively clumped up. But you killed them and you did more damage than you took. And you continue to have a larger income and all as well, right? You have a lot of SCVs in your primary hotkey, so I don't know what's going on there. This is a big temptation in TVT is to try to end the game early. And you're going to notice it's 80 supply for you to 42 from him. But you don't have an air unit. And without vision of the high ground, bad things can happen, man. Right? Because you're only just barely going to get vision as soon as you go up the ramp, and the ramp is going to make all your guys clump up and be easily splashed, and it's just never going to work, man. Once Terran has a siege tank sieged up on the high ground, the only way to break it, if he sieges it too close, obviously you can sprint in here and break it, but if he sieges up like right here, there's no way to reach these tanks, so there's just no way to kill him. So the more common way to kill a Terran early in TVT is to have more tanks than him. Find a place where this white dot doesn't reach, but this white dot does, and then put 2 tanks here with high ground vision with a Viking or a medevac or something. And then you can use 2 tanks to kill 1 tank, then repair that whichever of your tanks took damage and do it again to that one, and so on and so forth. And the second, much more common way to do it is just to do a drop, man. Get your whole army and just doom drop him. But a push like this with no air units, there's just no way to win in TVT when they're defending with no air units. So you can siege up. Oh, you don't even have siege mode. But what you want to do instead of trying to win is get a siege tank to siege up so that the very edge of his siege range is right in the middle of the ramp, so that there's no way for him to hit your siege tank from the high ground with his own tanks, and there's no way for him to get to the low ground. And then that just prevents him from ever getting an expo, and then you starve him to death. So that's another good way to do it. It looks like you're kind of trying to starve him to death, but you didn't prevent him from getting down the ramp, so he just walked down and sieged up, and now you can't really starve him at all. And you can't reinforce because he's sieged up in range of his natural ramp. So this is another, very common problem, is you have a ton of stuff in a place where it can't be reinforced, so he just gets to kill it for free, and that puts him thousands of dollars ahead in this game. Another big thing in TVT is the tank count. If he has 4 tanks against your 2 tanks, then you can't really attack him. And now he's taking a super late expo. He's way behind. You've got much more money coming in than him. You've got much more money spent on your army. You have a bigger army. You've got the middle of the map. And you're doing a 2 base contain on him now that your 3 base contain concept failed. And ooh, you're also poking up here with your 1 Viking. That's kind of cool, but 1 Viking is never going to win a Viking war. And then he just takes out your Viking and comes over and kills your army again. Don't do it. Oh my gosh, you're just going to let him kill your army again. So you got really far behind in this game due to 2 times just letting him kill your army. That sucks. So now you're even further behind. You're $2,500 behind on damage done. So now he's going to stim and walk into your siege line, and this is awesome for you. Just make sure that your Marines get in front of your tanks. Yeah, kicking his butt, boy. Squish, 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 squish. That was great. So you used to be $2,500 behind, and now you're only $1,600 behind. So that's much better. So looks like this tank contain is gonna be able to starve him. Don't stop trying to attack him. A tank contain is a chokehold. You put it here, and then the game ends because you starved him to death. You got to let him mine out his 2 bases. You can't keep moving in and trying to do damage. This is just a waste of time. You win if he never expands again. So that's your only goal. Don't let him expand again. No, don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. So once you have this many tanks containing him, you really want to start adding starports and Vikings and battlecruisers, because the only good way to push into a bunch of pre-sieged tanks like this, first of all, is for him to do drops. You can go around here and drop your main, or go around here and drop the other places. And you can stop that with turret rings. A turret ring is like if you want to turret ring your main, you just turret around in a ring around your main. But a better way to turret ring, once you've already contained him, you can actually just put like a turret here and 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 turret here. So you just kind of choke him off with turrets, and then put some Vikings in the space where you can't reach with turrets. And now he can't go anywhere by air. He has to go by ground. And if he has to go by ground, and you have this many siege tanks that well spread out containing him, he can't. So now his only choice is to either starve to death, suicide into you and lose, or go battle cruisers. Those are his 3 choices. And so that's why I say you want to add starports and start getting Vikings and BCs at this point. And you definitely want to stop losing units. You don't want to be skirmishing down here. Just take your chokehold and keep it. Get a million bases, and most importantly, make sure you can't go anywhere by air. Because pretty soon he's going to realize that it's stupid to keep suiciding into your tanks. Also, your whole infantry army should be on hold position right behind the first tank, so that if he pushes into you, he gets to kill the first tank, but he doesn't get to kill the second one because your infantry stops him. Here we go. He finally realized that he can do drops. Oh, no, he didn't. Man, this guy is not paying attention. Drops. Anyway. So, yeah. 2 really big blunders of positioning, but the rest was great, and you just ripped this guy to shreds, spent $5,000 more than him on army, and starved him to death. Good job. So easy peasy Japanesey. You won that one. Great job. I'd say the only advice from this game, because you did everything you needed to win, the only advice from this game is when you choke someone, you want to siege up your tank so that it's just barely in range of the middle of his ramp. When you did your contain, you sieged up so that you were in range of here, and that's just a tiny bit too far back. And you could have really killed him a lot quicker if you that first tank that had come up here, if you just had a good position at the bottom of that ramp. But yeah, and I would have expoed quicker too. But you did well enough to win, obviously, and well enough to be promoted to Gold League. Congratulations! So that's good enough.